Donald Trump gets a warning from Zelensky. In a warning to former U.S. President Donald Trump, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky warned of the consequences of allowing Russia to succeed in Ukraine. During Wednesday's International Media Council at the World Economic Forum, a journalist asked the Ukrainian leader to respond to Trump's assertion that he could stop the war in Ukraine within 24 hours. The ex-president has promised to end the conflict will end immediately if he is re-elected in 2024, although he has not yet said how exactly he plans to do this. The future of American funding for Ukraine has also been called into question by Trump's re-election campaign. Even President Joe Biden's pleas for more funding have been rebuffed by some of the former president's closest Republican congressional supporters, and he has publicly opposed maintaining support for the Ukrainian military in Kyiv. Zelensky asked Trump what his plans are in the case that Putin's aggressiveness extends beyond Ukraine, like if Moscow were to invade a NATO member, while addressing media members in Davos, Switzerland. Then the question is, what will Trump do after that, if after Ukraine, Russia occupies a NATO country? Interfax Ukraine reports that Zelensky made the request. He has determined that he will cease his actions if the conflict is not frozen and Putin is allowed to enter Ukraine, he continued. Putin, though, is unyielding. What, then, will be Donald Trump's next move domestically? If that's the case, then Europe has literally lost its biggest and most powerful army, the one stationed in Ukraine, and the war in Ukraine itself. In an effort to get a statement on Wednesday, Newsweek emailed Trump's press staff, in anticipation of a potential direct confrontation with Russia in the future years. Some NATO member states have implemented preventative measures. The German intelligence community's assessment of the country's CFR in November 2023 was that the alliance has between 5 to 9 years to get ready for a possible war with Moscow. This kind of battle could break out in the next 3 to 5 years, according to a report released last month by Estonia's Foreign Intelligence Service. Some European leaders are worried that the West won't be able to stop Russia's actions because of Trump's re-election prospects. A high-ranking EU official claims that the former president told him while in office that the United States would never be able to aid Europe in the event of an attack. This accusation surfaced last week, although Trump has not commented publicly on the issue. When asked by Brett Baier of Fox News during last week's town hall, he did not pledge to remain a member of NATO during his second term. That depends on how they treat us, Trump stated. The North Atlantic Treaty Organization has exploited our nation. Some European nations jumped on the bandwagon. At a meeting in New York on September 25, 2019, on the fringes of the United Nations General Assembly, former presidents of the United States and Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky and Donald Trump, clasp hands. Inquiring about Trump's intentions in the event that Russia achieves victory in Ukraine, Zelensky asked during Wednesday's World Economic Forum.